I'm Ann Margaret. I'm one of the educators with Janome Canada. Some of you know me as Ann Stitcher from our Janome Life blog post. When I want to give someone a gift, whether it's for a special occasion or just because, sometimes it's hard to pick that special gift. And I don't know about you, unless I've overheard somebody say, I really need or I would like, it's really kind of hard. And I don't like giving cash. So I usually give a gift card of a store that I know that they like. And they come in those lovely little paper slip covers, and while they're functional and great and everything else, they're promoting that business. I kind of like to do something different. So in this video, I'm going to show you a really quick, easy gift giving idea to enhance a gift card by making your own personalized slipcover. Now, I'm going to be using Artistic Digitizer and our embroidery machine, the 550E, fabulous machine, but it doesn't take very long at all. So I'm going to show you step by step on the Artistic Digitizer, and then I'm going to show you how it actually sews out. Alrighty, so let's get started.
So I thought that it would be easier if I screen shared Artistic Digitizer so that you could get a better idea of exactly what I did. So I opened up Artistic Digitizer and I went into Create New. And that way I can open up my new file. There we go. All right, and so we get the grid screen, which is great. And I want to go down to monograms, or lettering rather, to open up monograms. Right there. And this will give us all of our options for our monogramming of our gift card holder. Okay, so when you open up the monogram, this is the screen that you'll get. It gives you an opportunity to make your width, your height. You can stretch it. Your text, in this instance, I've put in the initials TLV. It allows you to choose your font and allows you to choose your template. So you'll notice on the template that I've chosen, it says 132. So what that means is it will stitch out. T is letter 1, V is letter 3, and L is letter 2. Then you also have the option of picking a frame as well that will go around. And there's so many different frames and sizes and styles. So you can do up a different gift card holder for every member of the family, and not one of them will ever be the same. So once you've made all your choices, then we are going to put it on the screen. And then I need to draw my stitch line around on 3 sides. So I can't use the shapes because I need to have only like a 3-sided rectangle. So what I'm going to do is under digitize, I'm going to do the freehand shape. And that'll allow me to make it exactly the size that I want it to be. Now, one of the great things about the grid lines is that on your hoop, you've got the template, which matches these grid lines. And I use that to determine exactly how big or how small I wanted this gift card holder to be. So I use the cursor and I drop where I want it to start and where I want it to stop and make my first straight line. Then where I stopped on my first line is where I started my second line. So I have my second line in place. And then my third line. So now those are my stitch lines that are going to happen after the fact of embroidering the initials that I have chosen. Now, and there we have it. So next thing I want to do is I want to see what this looks like. So I went into the slow draw and I made sure that it was exactly where I wanted it to be. It looked the way I wanted it to look like. I'm going to choose different colored threads for my lettering, but this gives me a preview of what it's going to look like. And if it looks the way I want it to look, then I need to save it. Now, one of the things that is fantastic about Artistic Digitizer is that it works on all kinds of different machines. So when you go to save your design, make sure that you use the drop-down menu, and I've just pulled it up partially here so you can see just a few designs options you have to save with, because different sewing machines have different extensions that you need to save files as. For Janome, of course, we're JEF files, so I am saving mine as a JEF file. And I have labeled mine Monogram TLV. And then I hit save. Now, right now I'm saving it to my computer, but I am also saving it, or I'm going to transfer it to a flash drive so that I can put it into my sewing machine. And when it's saved properly, this is what you'll see. Your file save is successful, and it tells you how many stitches in total that it's going to stitch out. So that gives you also an idea of how long it's going to take. Alrighty, so now that I've got my file saved on Artistic Digitizer and on my flash drive, I'm going to take the flash drive over to my sewing machine, and we're going to stitch this out and see what it looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to retrieve my file that I saved on my USB. So I'm going to go to File, and we always get these lovely error messages. That's one of the things I love about the embroidery machines or any Janome machine, is that they give you error messages, and pay attention to them because they say them for a reason. So keep hands clear. So basically, don't put your hoop on yet, because when the arm moves to the correct position, it is going to move the hoop, and the foot is down too low, and it's going to hit. And if it hits, it's going to either bend or break your needle, possibly get your machine out of timing, and it makes a dreadful noise. Ask me how I know. So we've got a confirmation of which hoop size we are going to use, and I'm going to say OK, and now I'm going to start stitching out. Okay, so just so you know what supplies I used, we've got a great line of stabilizers, and this pack is a fabulous, fabulous stocking stuffer gift. If some of you are watching for trying to get gift ideas for the person who's going to be making these things, the starter set for all of our premium stabilizers is a fantastic. It gives you a little bit of everything, which is great. So I am actually using the cotton stable to place into the hoop for doing this gift holder, and then I am using Madeira thread. So this is one of our gift packs. Got a bit of a reflection of the light, and I'm sorry for that. So this is our multicolor pack. We have got our neon pack, and we have got what they're calling our classic pack, which has got metallic colors in it. And you'll notice one is missing because I am going to use the silver one for my project today. But these are great because a sewer never has enough thread, never has enough stabilizer, and I don't care what anybody says, never has enough fabric. So as promised, this is the Anti-Kink Device. So when you come in from the back, and you go around the top and into the hole. Oops. Trying to keep that up top there. I can do this. There we go. Always works easier when someone else is not watching you, right? Or when you're taping. And then you go around there and bring it forward and finish off your threading. So make sure that that's how you have your Anti-Kink Device threaded. That hole is there for a reason, and it will make your life a lot easier. So now that I've got my hoop in my machine, I am going to put my fabric down, and I'm just making this one out of felt. You could use a soft vinyl or like a canvasy material, and I sprayed it with some Real Magic, which gives it a little bit stiffer to the fabric. And I'm going to put my presser foot down, and we are going to start sewing. Now after a couple of stitches, and I know it's secure, I'm just going to trim off my starter so that it doesn't get all mixed up with the stitching. Now I chose the silver metallic because I wanted something that would contrast well with the green. And I think I've made a wise choice on that. Now the nice thing with Artistic Digitizer is you can change so many things on your design. Like I said before, you can pick the style of lettering, the font size, the font style. You can even pick the type of stitching that it does in between. I've just left this at the basic stitching, but you could do some that's got a real 3D dimensional image in it, which would look really, really neat. And what I love about this is that you can change one little thing and make it unique, and no one else will have that same thing. So you've got some really personalized gifts for people that they're never going to get anywhere else. Nobody can really go out to the store and buy it. It's something that you've created, and I feel if you make something for someone, you obviously care a lot about them. So the silver is actually showing up really nicely. I'm really pleased. I don't know about you guys, but I could sit and watch my embroidery machine work for hours, and unfortunately I do. Because I love to see that it goes from just a blank canvas and just the way it creates something, how it fills in the stitches or outlines, or you think, oh, that looks great, but it's still got 4 minutes left of sewing, and what could it still be to do, and then it goes and does all this little bit of outline which really fine-tunes your designs and stuff, and I just think it's fascinating how it works. Now I could have base stitched it down if I wanted to, but because it's a fairly basic design in that it's not moving all around a lot and a lot of thread changes and what have you, I just felt that floating it was my best option. I could have base stitched it. A lot of people prefer to do that, but I didn't. You could also use some adhesive spray. Janome's got a great adhesive tack spray that you could just spray a little bit on so that it attaches to your stabilizer so that it doesn't move around a lot. But I thought that this was going to be okay, and so far I'm right. So I've chosen a black thread to do the outline of my letters, and I thought it would just make it pop. So when this is finished, I will change the thread over to black and we will do the outline. Okay, so now I've rethreaded the machine with black, and I'm going to start my outline. And just going to trim off my thread. And while some of you are brave enough to trim your threads while the machine is working, I don't recommend it. Last Christmas I decided that it would be a really good idea to do that, and I was in a rush because I didn't realize a guest was coming, so I was quickly making up a present, and I sewed through my finger. And I said some words I will not repeat, but it is extremely painful, because if you do it on a regular sewing machine it's bad enough, but with the embroidery machine going as fast as it does, yeah, that really hurt. Okay. Now, I've hit stop before it continues on with the sewing because it's now going to do my pocket. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fabric, I'm going to lift up my presser foot, and I am going to pull it forward. And make sure it's laying flat. There we go. There we go. And this way, this will make my pocket for me. So put my presser foot back down, and it will sew the pocket piece for me. And we are all done with the embroidery machine. Okay, so I've taken it out of the hoop, and now I am just going to trim this up. And I can take that off if I want, or I can leave it on because it'll give me some stability, which is good. I'm going to use my scissors to just pop the corner out. Being careful not to poke a hole all the way through.
So wasn't that easy? Few easy steps and you get something personalized, and you can make it whatever way you want to, whether it's a monogram, whether it's a saying, whether it's a picture of something. With Artistic Digitizer, you can make it personalized just for the person you're giving it to. So hope this helped. Hope gave you some inspiration. And if you don't have an embroidery machine, the 550E is an amazing machine. And if you like to create things right from scratch and make them your own, rather than buying digital items for the embroidery machine, you need to get the Artistic Digitizer. Have a great day and happy sewing.